Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I know that you guys often come to me asking for advice about fashion and beauty, but one of the other things that I get asked about a ton is also Instagram, growing on social media, establishing a presence, and all of that kind of stuff. And I actually was looking at my insights on my Instagram account the other day, and I had a really good January on my Instagram, which is funny because this is actually the month that I decided I was gonna stop stressing about Instagram so much and really just post what I liked and what I thought you guys would find really useful and worry less about kind of the grid and like what that looks like and just focus more on individual posts and how far I can have them reach my audience. So that's kind of what I want to run you through today. I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that I did in January that I actually was able to see through my insights. I do have a business Instagram account that I was actually able to see helped my account this past month. If you've been following along for the last couple of months, you'll probably know that back in December, I hit my first 10,000 followers on Instagram, which I can't even tell you what a freaking labor of love that was and how long it took me to get to that point. I started my Instagram account in June of 2012, so this has been like a couple years in the making, and I know it's not easy to grow on Instagram, but one of the things that I think that helped me in the last month kind of not only retain the followers that I gained like over the last couple of months, but also kind of to reach new followers in different ways was to kind of just play around and again see how many people I could reach. If you're a blogger or influencer watching this, I'm assuming you kind of know the basics of where we're at with Instagram in 2019. So follower count matters less now than it ever has, and brands are even more willing to work with micro influencers to execute campaigns and also paid projects. So that brings out a lot of new opportunity for us all, and there's also going to start to be less of a focus on your engagement because again, engagement can kind of be bought or paid for. You could be in a like pod, so you can buy followers, you can buy engagement, but you can't buy reach. So that's what I think a lot of brands are going to be focusing on, to see how many people you're actually reaching on your account and how big of an influence, I guess if you want to say that, you actually do have. I was actually just looking for my own personal curiosity on my Instagram page to kind of look at my insights and see how I did in January, you know, it being the first month of 2019, if I happened to notice anything that was working really well or maybe something that wasn't as well received, and if I could also draw any common themes between all of that. I do have a blog post actually on Instagram insights and what you can kind of determine based on what they are, so I'll link that down below in case you haven't read that and want to go check it out. That's over on my blog, Keep Calm and Chiffon. I went through all of my photos from January and did this little like social media audit thing, and I've pretty much narrowed it down to 5 things that have actually really helped me in January, so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And before I start listing out the 5 things, I just want to share 2 statistics from my Instagram insights page that I think you guys would find really interesting. I'm going to pop some screenshots onto the screen so you can see what I'm looking at here on my phone, but 2 of the metrics that I was looking at were my reach and also my shares in the last year. So reach, again, is just the number of accounts that a photo of yours actually gets to through Instagram's algorithm or through hashtags or through all of the moving parts of it. So it's basically how many people do you actually reach with one photo. Reach could be both your audience and also people who don't follow you. So again, that might be if you end up on the explore page or if you are using hashtags that someone is actually looking at. Within my Instagram insights, I go to my content page and then I go to feed posts, and you can sort all of your feed posts and you can sort them. You can do like a different time frame. So I was doing the 1-year time frame to check in on this, and then you can sort them by many different factors. So comments, how many emails did people send you? What was the engagement? How many people followed you from that post? So the ones that I was looking at was reach and then shares. I was focusing here on my top 12 just because that's what I'm able to fit into a screenshot to show you guys here, and I'm not going to show you exact numbers because I can't give all my secrets away, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was looking at my top like most reached photos, and keep in mind this is from 12 months, so I expect reach to take a lot longer because reach can kind of grow over time too. As you guys can see, 2 of the top photos there, one is from Stuyvesant Street, which is a highly searched place on Instagram because I think it's probably the most Instagrammable spot in New York City. Like every time I post a photo there, the photo does really well. So fun fact if you're in New York. And then also Rose Mansion, which obviously blew up on Instagram, so people were probably searching a lot for that one over time. But what I noticed from this is that 3 out of these 12 photos were from this past month, from January 2019, which I find shocking just because, again, like I said, reach can take a lot of time to kind of accumulate, and people can go back and search for photos, especially if you tag them at a popular location, or, you know, it's something on an account that people like to go back to and reference a lot. So I found it shocking that 3 of the photos I posted in January managed to get some of my highest reach from the past year. The next statistic I wanted to share with you guys is my shares, actually. So shares either means that someone used the little paper airplane underneath a photo to share the photo to their story, or to send it in a direct message to a friend. So either way, you're either getting at least 1 more eyeball or possibly a ton of new eyeballs on your photo, depending on which way they've ended up sharing it. And out of my 12 like top shared photos, and this is again looking at analytics from the past year, 8 of my top 12 were photos from January. So the fact that that was true, and also that some of my best reaching photos were from January, I really wanted to just sit down and be like, what was I doing well in January? Because like, this is really good for me to know, and also good for you guys to know too. So let's get into the 5 things that I think made a huge difference in growing my reach in the last month. So the first kind of theme that I noticed about the photos that were reaching a lot more people and also being shared was that they were very specific, like New York City locations. If you live in a major city and you have big like kind of landmark places, or really well recognized places, or Instagrammable places, those are really great places to shoot photos because people will probably already be searching for them, and there's a higher chance that your photo could come up in someone's search to find one of those photos. One of my most shared photos and top ranking ones was taken at the new 28th Street subway location. So that's on the downtown side of 28th Street. It just got renovated, and it's this beautiful floral like tile design now. It used to just be like any other subway station, and people, probably not that many people have been there yet because it really just recently opened. So I saw it and was like, I really wanted to get in there soon and take a photo there. And another photo that got shared a lot was a photo I took with Jessie. So this one was from literally like Jessie was laying on the ground and going up like this with the camera to get me at this like higher up angle. And that photo was really well received. And I think again, it's just because it's a unique perspective. It's like, you know, when you look at something at eye level, it may not be as interesting as something that is kind of shot from higher up or further down, or just anything that's again different from what you might see on an everyday basis. If you guys want more photography tips like that, like how to take better photos for Instagram, I have a free download called Improve Your Instagame. I'll put a link to it down below, but I definitely explain a little more about how to take photos in that tip sheet. The next thing that I think helped me so much in terms of shareability is video content, and here's why. This is what I call the Barstool theory. So Andrew constantly sends me videos that Barstool shares, and they are addictive, and they're the kind of thing that you want to send to other people. Barstool is mostly like people falling or funny things happening that kind of make no sense, but like once the caption is there, it kind of makes the video seem more funny. I laugh at that stuff too, but the thing I'm more interested in is definitely fashion and beauty. So I've recently started filming some styling videos and also some beauty videos that are kind of hyperlapsed, like me getting ready, putting on an outfit, or me doing my makeup, and those have been really well received. Like, not only do people say they enjoy actually seeing the techniques that I use to like apply my makeup, or kind of just see a bunch of different options of how to style something, but it's something they want to send to their friends. And another thing that helps with reach is it's something they want to save to their collection. So you also have the save feature on Instagram. It's very similar to Pinterest. You can kind of create different collections, so like Pinterest boards, that kind of thing. And I think those kind of videos that just weren't being shared, or that people want to reference back to, definitely helped me with my reach, because it's something that you want to look at again when you're like getting dressed and you say, what was that thing Austen was wearing in that video? And you can go refer back to it. A third thing that helped me a lot is blocking spammy accounts. And this is why sometimes my growth isn't as fast as I guess in theory would like it to be, but it definitely helps my reach. If you go through, like, there are probably a lot of like bot style accounts that are following you. I'll pop a photo on the screen of one that I blocked recently that I thought was a pretty good example of how to recognize a bot. Like, either they don't have a profile photo, or they really haven't posted anything themselves, or their following count is like astronomically higher than every other statistic. Like, that's just super shady, and I really try to block those accounts, mostly because they're inactive and they don't help me with anything, but also because I want to have a healthy following. I want brands that I work with to understand that when they pay me to create content for them. They're paying me to reach real people. There are some people who are super inactive, maybe haven't logged into their account in like over a year, or who honestly just like don't engage that much with your posts. So since those aren't really helpful to you, it makes sense to just get rid of them. Every once in a while, I also kind of just, if I'm bored or if I'm thinking of it, will go into my following count and kind of search for like different things that I think might bring up spammy style accounts. My friend Caitlin actually has a really good blog post on it, so I'm just gonna put that in the description box so you can go read it if you think that you might have kind of an unhealthy following, or if you're looking to improve your reach and you kind of want to weed out some of the more inactive accounts. The fourth thing that has really helped me in January was doing smaller, more intentional and like focused giveaways. So rather than kind of going into a giveaway that 100 people are in and, you know, there's a large buy-in, but you're gonna get 2,000 followers in return, and like half of them either don't retain, like they unfollow you as soon as the giveaway is done, or, you know, you don't get that great of the accounts that follow you. Like, I want quality accounts following me. I want real people who actually care about what I'm doing and want to engage with my content. Social Sunday, I work with a lot on a freelance basis. I edit their blog, and I'm also an ambassador for them. I have a discount code. I'll pop it on the screen in case any of you love their stuff and want to do a little bit of shopping. I'll get you like 20% off, I'm pretty sure. But it made perfect sense to do a giveaway with them because I love working with them and the products, and it just seemed like the easiest possible natural fit. Did the giveaway. We gave it away to a winner who commented on our photo. They had to like follow both of our accounts and tag 3 friends in the comments. I'm pretty sure that was the rule to entry. And to me, I'd rather follow a brand that is more similarly aligned with an influencer or a blogger that I'm already following, because then it's not that far off and it's not like I have to go out and follow 40 other accounts, which can be annoying. I totally understand. So I was texting with the CEO of Social Sunday after we did the giveaway, and she said that it went really well on their end too. Like, she said the followers were like real and legit, and even if we probably both gained like, I don't know, 150 followers, like I'd so much rather have 150 people who actually care than 15,000 people who don't care at all, because what's going to be more beneficial to you in the long run? You already know the answer. So definitely doing smaller giveaways. If there are any like local brands that you could partner with, or even if you on your own, like I know I have a ton of beauty stuff, so I'm always kind of doing beauty giveaways. I think doing things like that that can bring in small doses of really engaged followers versus large doses of like lurkers or anything like that is going to be so much more beneficial in the long run. And the last tip that I have is to use longer, more useful captions in your photos. So this is something that James Nord was talking about at For You, which is a recent event that they had here in the city that I went to, and I love him. He's just so blunt. He does the Drink with James series on YouTube where he just drinks whiskey and talks about influencer marketing, like no nonsense. So always enjoy that. And he was talking about how everyone is really focused right now on creating beautiful images, and not a lot of people are focused on being better writers and storytellers, because at the end of the day, if you're working with a brand to sell a product, you have to be able to sell the product, and you have to be able to explain why it's unique and why someone needs it in their life and how it fits into your life and all of those things. If you love to write like I do, you should totally use that to your advantage, because it's going to become more and more important over time, and not that many people are focusing on the writing right now. What I also mean by useful captions is, for example, when I posted the photo of the 28th Street subway, I said what stop it was at, I said what side of the stop it was at, I said that it had been recently renovated and reopened, and that gives a lot of people information that, like, let's see if I look at the saves. Yeah, that a lot of people saved probably for later to go back for when they want to go check it out for themselves. Another photo that I posted that had a, I guess, useful caption, if you want to call it, is this. So this is my throwback to last year's Fashion Week, and in the caption I said that I wasn't actually talking on the phone to anyone in this photo. Like, that's just something I do to kind of get a street style photographer's attention, and since Fashion Week is coming up, bloggers want to know how to get photographed. I figured by sharing that useful tip, it's like, you know, I'm not really giving away anything like groundbreaking there. It's kind of just a true fact that I've noticed, that photographers are less likely to photograph you if you're like blatantly posing for them before they've even decided that they like your outfit. But it's kind of a nice way to just like ease into it if you don't know what to do with your hands, or like you don't have a friend with you who you can kind of casually talk to or like link arms with. Linking arms is also a cute photo too, if you're walking into any shows with your fellow bloggers. Giving a little bit more context into the photos and what's going on. I always like a good behind the scenes moment, like telling the story of how you got that perfect shot. So those are all kind of things to consider too. I've been rambling here for way longer than I intended to, and I have to edit this video and get it up today, so I'm going to leave it here. Once again, just wanted to remind you, if you want to download my free tip sheet for tips on how to take better photos, it'll be linked down in the description box for you to check out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. That really helps my channel out, and also please subscribe if you'd like to stick around and be notified whenever I put out a new video, which is every Monday and every Friday, which I've done so well at sticking to. This is my 2019 schedule, and as long as this video goes up today on Monday, we good. Please leave any questions that you may have in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And if you're not already, please be sure to go follow me on Instagram at Austen Tosone. I've got 8,000 things to do because it's fashion week, so I'm gonna head off. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in Friday's video. Bye.